And we are live on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's team meeting. How's everybody doing today? Great to see so many faces. So we got a great lineup for you today, and I'm Broker Bob, going to help facilitate the meeting today for Stephen, who is in Pennsylvania, helping out Evie in her contest. And so we have me and Drew running tech. So Drew's at the office, I'm at my office. So I hope you guys are going to hang with us as we attempt to navigate through going through this. So let's get going for the day. I just got to line something up on my computer. So we have a great agenda lined up for you today. Everybody remember, as you're logging in, please turn off your cell phones, mute yourself, get ready for a fun day. So let's move right into the agenda. Can you make that a little bit bigger, Drew? I think it's a little. We'll get there. We're running tech on two different locations, so sorry, guys. I'm gonna mute you, Drew. Anyway, let's move into it. What we first have up is let's do some shout outs. Who would like to log on and do some shout outs while Drew does gets the tech going back there? Go ahead.
Hey, I just want to thank all of the people who taught Ignite. Really, it was great classes. People gave their best for sure. And I found it extremely helpful. So thank you.
Well, great. Glad you liked it. Really appreciate that feedback. You know, the people that do that spend time, their own time and energy and effort taking care of that. And it's nice that we get some feedback on that. Anybody else have a shout out? Bucket fill. Tell us something good. Give us a win. Give us a celebration. Just to remind everybody, we are live on Zoom and we're streaming through the KW Metro YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go to Keller Williams San Diego Metro on YouTube and subscribe. We have all of our team meetings and trainings saved there for agents to be able to watch them later. And we're getting a really good library up there. We have all the contracts. We have Ignite in there. If you missed a session, you can take that. It's just a great resource if you missed something or want to go back. If you missed yesterday's profit share class with Linda McKissick and Ashley, you definitely want to go back and see that one. Any more bucket fills? Everybody's being shy today. Nobody's got a bucket fill. Anybody's got a win? Come on, Peggy. I know you got one.
I was thinking of the math coaching that our office has. They brought the MAPS coaches to our office, and when I got to meet them, it developed relationships, and with my own business, it's been amazing. And I wanted to just thank our office for making that accessible to me, and it's been very profitable. Thank you.
Good. Glad you liked it. Fantastic. All right, moving into today. All of a sudden, I decided to have a little computer malfunction. Don't forget our training schedule this week. We have KW Command with Clarissa, Thursday, September 3rd at 2 o'clock. It's going to be via live on Facebook. And then our Coming Together series with Ashley resumes next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. If you haven't registered for that, I've been to almost every one of them or have listened to the ones I've missed. Very enlightening and eye-opening series. And I hope you can join that. It really has helped me see blind spots that I've had actually in my world and been open up to some pretty interesting things that we don't know that exists in this world. Let's move into our strategic marketing partner spotlight. Today, we're going to be joined by Joe Guidi, again, with Steel Insurance Agency. Joe, you've got the floor. And if you're muted, unmute yourself, Joe.
All right, there we go. Can everybody hear me?
Yep, we got you.
All right. For those who do not know me, my name is Joe Guidi. I am a native San Diegan. Been in this city my entire life. My father's also a native. I grew up here in South Mission Hills. I am currently married for my second time. I have a 2 stepkids and 2 kids of my own, all teenagers. So you know how fun that must be in my house. I serve as the vice president on the board of the Down Syndrome Association of San Diego. I have a child with Down syndrome, and love my city. I love my job. So I also, a little note for you guys, grew up with Sal Sheffalo. So those of you who know Sal.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Hold it against you.
I've known Sal since he was born. He actually grew up just a block away from me. So we used to run the streets together when we were kids.
Someone
so
older
us-
than Sal?
What's that?
Someone's older than Sal?
Yeah, actually, I'm older than he is. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. So last time I talked, at my 5 minutes, I talked about fire line scores, how insurance companies are redrawing all the fire lines now throughout California, and they're canceling like entire zip codes, which has been keeping me really busy. But this time I'm going to quickly talk about liability limits on your homeowner's insurance policy, and a endorsement called personal injury, which is on most of the policies, but not all of them. So as you may or may not know, the liability for your homeowner's insurance goes much further than protecting you from a lawsuit if somebody wishes to slip and fall on your property. Your liability insurance follows you wherever you go, so you and your children. So I have a couple quick examples of how that works. And one of them is if you have children, and let's say one of them's playing soccer and they hit another kid falls down, gets knocked out, takes an ambulance ride, goes to the ER, gets a CAT scan, some follow-up doctor's visit. Now the kid's traumatized, he's got to go to counseling. So who pays for all that? Well, your homeowner's insurance. The liability on your homeowner's insurance would pay for that. Some of you don't have kids, but you're on social media. So if we say something that may be politically incorrect that offends somebody, I was talking to a person who was showing a home and happened to call the kids little monkeys because it's just something of the generation that you would say. And the person took it as an offense, it was offended. Now that person didn't sue or anything, but if they would have, then that liability would have fallen back on the homeowner's insurance policy. If you were to go on vacation and with your partner, you go into the hotel room, you light a candle and something catches on fire and you damage the hotel room, whose responsibility is that? Well, that's your responsibility. And if the hotel needs to, hotel's insurance would pay for that, but they would come back to the responsible party, which would be you, and your homeowner's liability insurance would cover that as well. Or dog bites, or anything that you are personally liable for. And I try my best to convince my clients to go with a maximum of, which is typically about $500,000 in liability on their insurance policy. And even to achieve that, if we don't, without getting the rates up higher, maybe raise their deductibles. But for me as an agent, it's important for me to educate, do my fiduciary duty to my clients, make sure that they have the best coverage at the best price. So that's my 5 minutes. Any questions, anybody?
They're a shy group today, Joe.
I see that.
We appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for letting me speak.
How do people contact you?
So Joe at joesellsins.com, real easy. Or my cell phone number is 619-876-6866 for those of you who are taking notes, which is probably nobody. But I am a member of your, what do you call that group that I'm on?
Strategic Marketing Partner.
Strategic Marketing Group, yes. So you can find me there. Thanks, everybody.
His information is also located in the Agent Resource Handbook digitally, so they all have access to it. All right, Joe, thanks very much. Great seeing you. Appreciate
Thanks, guys. Good to see you too.
All right, let's move on to some broker updates. I'm going to put my Broker Bob hat on right now. Hold on. There, I got my new hat. Here's your broker update. I have no legal broker update, but what I do have is something I want to share with you. I was on a phone call earlier this week, and or listening to a podcast, and the author was the author that helped me last year when I had my partner die, as well as Scott Neal died. And everybody that goes through a death experiences some terms of grief and emotional upheaval, etc. And his book really helped me. It's called You Can Heal Your Heart. And he was being interviewed about what we are all dealing with during COVID. And during COVID, in some form or another, we are all grieving about what we have left behind. And so we look at that as, you know, our new normal, new reality came into existence when all of a sudden we went inside our homes, and here we were inside our homes, inside our heads. And during times like that, humans naturally, when they get into their heads, they revert back to their lizard brain. And it's not the highly intelligent brain, because they go into a fear mode. Some people do, some people don't, some people do. But he says during COVID, if you're experiencing a fear or grief or a loss, and then after that loss, when we move into the new reality, two things can happen. You could have what's called post-traumatic stress, where you haven't dealt with the issues that you needed to deal with during COVID. Or he says, instead of having post-traumatic stress, how about post-traumatic growth? Figure out in your brain, where do you want to grow in this new reality? Many fortunes will be made over the next few years based upon the new reality we're in. And it's our job and duty to adapt, modify, and step into that new world and deal with the emotional stuff that maybe we had to put to bed and move into a new world. So that's my advice. Do you want to be post-traumatic stress or post-traumatic growth? You can say so in the chat bar if you want, just to get a show of hands. All right, let's move up into some launch and growth coaching updates. Watch out for this guy, Ryan Gilfland. He's picked up 2 new listings. He's in growth with Team Carl. Great job, Ryan. Matt, watch out for this one too. Matt's pretty new. I don't think he's been here more than a month and a half or 2 months. He opened up another escrow, picked up another buyer, and he's in launch with Team Carl as well. Congratulations to Nicole. She closed an escrow and took a new listing. She's in growth with Alicia. And if you know Nicole, she's actually battling a very serious illness right now, and she's still powering through. So really proud of her. Shout out to Mustafa. Came back and saw us and decided to get into growth with Alicia. He opened up, I think this might be a second or third since he's been back, escrow. Great job, Mustafa. And he's got a couple listings as well too. Allie got her first BRE sign. She's in launch with Alicia. Big shout out to Paul. Got another BRE sign. He's in launch with Alicia. Paul is killing it with the phone calls. In between the gym too, by the way. And then shout out to Chris Ross. He's in with Coach Corey. He showed up, according to Coach Corey. So that's a win for Chris. And same thing for Surreal. He showed up. And Surreal too has some really good things going on in his business as well too. And a huge shout out to Astrid. She got her first listing and a BRE sign. She is in launch with Clarissa and Dr. Barb. So great job, Astrid. Great to see it. Now let's move into our vendors, Movement Mortgage, Ed, Amanda, and Wes.
Hey guys, Amanda here. Sorry, no visual today. I'm a hot mess. But wanted to just kind of say hi and also kind of talk about some stuff that I'm seeing this week. You know, all in all, I think we're all seeing the market's crazy busy. You know, rates are still low. We're seeing that refi rates are rising just a tiny bit due to Fannie Mae's trying to kind of pump the brakes on the amount of volume that we're seeing, which is just like ridiculous. So, you know, bear with your lenders. If you're getting a lot of delayed emails from your lender, whether it's us or somebody else, everyone's kind of going through it. We're still able to close in less than 30 days. We're asking that you guys don't brutalize us too badly on those contingency removal timelines, but every client's different, right? So if it's a client that's proactive, like let's do a 21-day close. If it's a client that's terrible about getting back to us, that's a 30-day. Also, I wanted to just kind of mention supplemental taxes for a moment. You know, supplemental taxes is technically not a lender topic. However, we always discuss it with the client, but it is technically a disclosure in the real estate documents in regards to like what the taxes are when the seller has the property, and then what the taxes get reassessed to when your buyer purchases the property. We're at that time of year right now where you're probably going to get some phone calls or some text messages from some clients since the tax bills are going to be out in October. If you have questions about supplemental taxes, I actually shared a really good video about it today on my personal Facebook page. I'll share it on the KW Facebook page as well. It's a great little cartoon video that the County of San Diego created to kind of educate your clients on what supplemental taxes are. If a client has an escrow or impound account, the supplemental taxes are not paid through that account. They need to pay that on their own. So any kind of further questions, everyone's a little bit different. It depends on the time of year and, you know, all the things of like how much that's going to be. But if you don't know about supplemental taxes, please try to figure them out. Call me if you have questions, read about it, because your clients are going to be asking and it is part of the transaction process. So any questions, just let us know. Thanks, guys.
Great information, Amanda. As an agent, here's the easiest way. If your client's buying a house and it's sold for a lot more than what it originally sold for to the previous buyer, there's going to be a supplemental. And if it's
Oh, sorry, Bob. Real quick, the disclosure that's in, I don't know exactly what it's titled. Is it in the seller's disclosures for the
Yeah.
supplemental? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, but it's a conversation to have, because if the previous owner paid, let's say 200,000, and now the other buyer's buying it for $1 million, there might be a supplemental on that.
Yeah.
And by the way, they bought it last year anyway, right? They bought it last year.
Yeah, and the County of San Diego is super behind on reassessments, so it could be upwards of a year before they get that bill. And they're going to be surprised about it even if we talk about it. So the more we talk about it, the more likely they are to remember.
All right. Thanks, Amanda. Appreciate it. Hope you're feeling better.
Thank you.
All right. Let's move into A+ escrow. Mr. Justin.
Well, hello, hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm so glad that Amanda brought up supplemental taxes, because we were talking about that a little bit earlier today with another client. Yeah, I do have a link to, I believe they put it back up, but the County of San Diego put a little link for buyers to calculate their own supplemental taxes just as an estimate. And if I find that link again, I'm gonna send it out on the KW website so you guys can have it. The other thing I just wanted to touch on is, yes, of course, everybody's still in this COVID mode where we're super slammed, but we're still obviously grateful of your business. Movement Mortgage is actually one of the fastest lenders right now. So props to you guys. Pretty much every other lender is really behind, and everybody's obviously clearly stressed out and trying to close as soon as possible, but it's
Thanks,
just,
Justin.
it is what it is. A few tips, obviously, when you're taking your listing, do pre-open title as soon as you can. The county is behind. Solar companies are way behind. So if you pre-open title, let your escrow officer know, whether that be myself or your partner escrow, let them know that you just took that listing so they can start on anything within that title report, like liens, any collections that are reporting on title, solar, anything like that, that we can nail head on, even before you even sign the contract. We would much rather want to take that and try to finish it as soon as possible, because they're taking weeks and weeks. So other than that, appreciate your business. Congrats to the new agents. We do love that business as well. And we're always here for you guys if you need any answers to your questions or any advice or anything like that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Now let's move into the Social Equity Task Force intro with Ashley, Amy, Peggy, and Nikki.
Hi, everybody. I'm Peggy Roselevin, and I'm going to be representing our group today. Give you a
We're having a
personal.
little challenge with your audio. It's fading in.
Can you not hear me?
Well, it fades in and out. We can hear you, but it cuts in and out.
Okay. Give me a minute, and I'll change my venue here.
There, that's good. You're coming clear now.
Okay, that's good. Can you hear me good?
Yep.
All right. I wanted to give you guys an idea of why I personally joined this task force. And, you know, I just threw my my hat in the ring basically when it was called for. But I noticed in my own self on May 27th, when all that came down, that I was just going about my life thinking that I was very liberal because I was raised in the 60s and I didn't have any issues that were, you know, like really glaring. I've come to see in the last 3 months how difficult it's been for me to face my own, you know, racism, stereotypes, judgments about people. And what I've been working on is facing it head on. And this has been one of the mediums that has been available for me. What I'm doing is trying to get our office, you know, help, you know, seeing how I can be of help to our office in these kinds of things that we all, you know, everybody might be struggling with stuff like this. You know, not everybody is, but whoever is in our office, that it will bring us to a new level to help our clients. And that seems like the purpose of our task force, is to kind of overall our Keller Williams way of communicating to each other, all the agents, and we're working on that. So definitely it's brought me to a different level of acceptance of myself, that I have all these things that are like limiting beliefs in our language. So that's all from me.
Thank you for sharing, Peggy. I really appreciate that. Sounds like you guys got a lot great stuff going on, and we're looking forward to hearing more about it. Okay. All right. We are up next with property pitches. Property pitches, please. Do we have any property pitches? I know we are selling out our inventory so quick.
I actually do.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I have a property in Mira Mesa that's going to go on the market later on this week, and I have exclusive showing tomorrow from 3 to 4 for anyone in our office who wants to go see it prior to it hitting the market. It's a Mira Mesa. It's a fixer. It's 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, which is really difficult to find. They don't have any on the market like it. It's 2 stories, and so it's the address. I have it. You know, in our. Do you want me to say the address or?
If you want to.
8732 Andromeda Road in Mira Mesa 92126. And anybody who's interested, please call me. Let me know what you got, and I'd be happy to work with anybody in our office.
Thank you. Any more property pitches?
Up in
Who was on there?
John.
Okay, go ahead.
So I got one coming up in Santee, just got signed today. Aiming to put it on the 2nd of October. 3 beds with an optional, with a plus an office, 2 baths, in a cul-de-sac, really nice, quiet part of Santee. No one behind you or even to the side of you. 659. My clients have some cleaning up to do because they got 5 kids. So we need a patient buyer because we have to also be purchasing on the other end of it. So again, that'll be 659 and October 2nd.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, John. Anybody else?
I have a, oh, it's because of you. Turn that down. Sorry, we're like echoing over here. Okay, so I've been calling a couple expireds, and one today, let's see, they want $530 for it. It's out in El Cajon, and right now they have renters in it, but he said that if we brought them buyers and it was at that right price, then they would buy out the renters. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath with an ADU, 1-bed, 1-bath. So like a little living quarters, like a granny flat. Yeah, if you want to know more, go ahead and get in contact with me. They did update it a little bit, but the kitchen still isn't updated. So I'm working on getting some photos from him, and if not, he's like, you can do a drive by the property and I'll try to arrange a time for anyone to go by and see it. And then what I just posted in Facebook, reached out to an expired. It was a 2-bed, 2-bath in Hotel Circle South. She's the listing agent's the owner. She wants 445 for it. Fairly updated, fairly nice. If you want more information or her contact info, reach out to me and we'll talk.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, great. We're going to have to move on right now. If you have any more coming soon, please post them in the chat bar because we're going to get to including your buyer needs. So if you have any buyer needs, please put them in the chat box. We have a great session lined up right now with Coach Corey. Coach Corey has mastered the SMART plans and created multiple SMART plans for his business. And he's now seeing the third law of the law of lead generation, which is the 4 laws are build a database, feed it every day, communicate it with it systematically. That's a SMART plan. And then start servicing all the business that's coming your way. That third law is critical to leverage success. So let's all welcome Coach Corey. He's going to talk about what he's doing inside Command and the SMART plans he's setting up. Coach Corey, it's all yours. Take it away.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, you know what? You can't see me, can you?
We can't see you yet.
All right, there we go. Can you see me?
Oh, yeah, there's your pretty face in your fireplace.
Oh, stop it. All right. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for having me, guys. Let me change views so I can see y'all. Okay, cool. So, Bob, I was under the impression that I'm actually doing something different today.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what, that's what I thought you were doing. It's not on the agenda, so I was going off of memory.
Oh, no worries. So, first, if you guys don't have SMART plans set up, you're doing yourself a disservice. And if you want to continue to just grind, then don't do SMART plans. But if you want the grinding to get, smoother and better, where you have come list me's, set SMART plans up. Sound good?
Yes.
So they work really well. I know it takes a little bit of time to set them up, but it's well worth it. It's well worth it. So anyways, okay. So today I was asked to share with you guys on how to link up the MLS with a text message, kind of like notification system. How many of you guys right now have buyers that are just like, as soon as a listing hits the market, you want to either put in an offer or you want to go see it like ASAP? How many of you guys have clients like that? So this helps specifically those clients. If your clients aren't in that like A+ client mode, this is probably a little bit too much. And what it is the MLS doesn't have a text message feature, right? Where it gives your phone notifications, right? It's just by email. And so what I did is I've been using this for a couple of years for my clients that are just like really hot buyers or someone on my team. And all it is, it's really simple. And it's just setting up. It's called who's familiar with, it's like a SMS email. Are you guys familiar with those SMS emails? So all it is, every cell phone actually has an email tied to it. Okay. So who uses Verizon or AT&T or the big companies? Perfect. This doesn't work for Google Voice. It doesn't work for voice over IP. It doesn't work for those companies. So if one of your clients is using Google Voice or something like that, it's not going to work. It's got to be a regular carrier. And then I'm going to share a website with you guys to look up this email. You can look it up for free, and you get like 5 of them for free. And then basically, if you do a bunch of them, they'll say you got to subscribe. But then if you just clear your cache, your cookies, you can just like do it more. Right? If you're just doing it one by one for just new clients, you can just go on and do it. If you want to do like 100 people, then I think there's a subscription that you can subscribe to and do it. But that's like, it's overboard. And I'm going to show you what the text looks like too. It's really clunky and it's really just meant to be a notification. That's it. So then when they get the notification, they know to check their email, because as soon as it hits the MLS and those emails go out, if your clients, if they don't check their email for 3 hours, could that 3 hours make a difference? So that's what this text message comes in. It'll send them a text, a notification, and then they'll know, oh, I got a new listing. So then they'll go online and they'll check it out. It's really simple. So what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna share the website with you guys. And I found this by chance, like one day, like a few years ago. I was just doing my thing and came across this. Okay. So you guys get that right there? You guys see that? The text free SMS gateway. So I'm gonna share my screen right now. Bob, do I have the ability to share it? Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay. Cool. So you guys see this right here? So who's got a cell phone? We're gonna play with this, and I'm gonna show you guys how it works. Whose cell phone can I do this on? Anyone, someone? Not all at once. I can't. Can someone just speak up? Who's got a cell phone we can do this on? Anyone?
You can use mine.
Okay, who's that?
Carlos.
Okay, Carlos, give me the number. What
It's
are your
505-350-7142.
Okay, drum roll. Oh wait, you gotta do the not a bot. I'm colorblind. Is that what is that? Is it 17? I'm so bad at these. 17. Is that a 3?
It's 743.
1743?
No one. 743.
Oh, there's a 1.
Maybe
Okay. I
colorblind.
think it's 17343.
Oh yeah, the yellow. My bad.
Okay, it's wrong. Oh, this one's way easier.
Always a bot.
This one's colorblind friendly. 69121. Okay. Boom, there we go. So you see this right here? It's a 505. It's your phone number at vtext.com. So this is the email that you're going to put into the MLS. So I'm going to copy this. Now I'm going to go to the MLS and let's go to the office. We'll go to our office listing. You guys know how, do you guys ever use this right here, the top right box for listings or inventory with our office? Okay, so let's just go to new listings. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send this listing to you so then you can see it on your phone and maybe you can just put it on your screen. So I'm just gonna email this, right? Compose the email. And this, I'm putting this right here in for the email. I'm gonna just delete all this right now. So right now, I'm gonna send this to you, okay?
Okay.
So sending, boom, just sent. Let me know when you get that message.
Got it.
Okay, so now I'm gonna stop my share. And then can you show us what that looks like?
I'm actually watching the meeting on my phone, so I don't know if I can screen share
Okay,
on
don't
my
worry
phone.
about it. What I'll do, I'm gonna do a different one. Here we go. You guys see this right here? You guys see that?
That's a yes, we see that.
Okay.
Yes.
So you guys get a text message. Your clients will get one that looks like this. It's clunky, right? But whatever the subject line is, that's what they'll get in the message. Now, if it's a regular link, they can click on the link and go to the website, to the URL on their phone. With the MLS though, they use hyperlinks and hyperlinks don't work with this. So what you guys need to do is just use this as a notification. So when a new listing pops up in their contacts, you read on their MLS, let me go back to that now. Let me share. Oops. Bear with me one sec. Chrome. Okay, are we on Chrome now? Yes or no?
It's still showing the email link.
Okay, are we on Chrome now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So now when you guys go to your contacts on the MLS, and if I'm going too fast for you guys, just let me know, please. So when you go to like your contacts on the MLS, when you go to add a new contact, you're going to put their first name in. So we'll put Robert. So we'll put Robert in for first name, last name. Now for the email, you're going to use the regular email for the listings, but then that email that I just showed you guys that you got from this this website right here, you're going to add this one to it as well. So when a new listing hits the market, they're going to get it sent to their regular email. And if you add that second email address in as like work email or other email, that'll send them a text message notification that a new listing has hit the market. And that just tells them they need to go on and check their email because a new listing just hit the market. It's that simple. So does that make sense? What questions do you guys have on this?
So are you using this in real life right now? And if so, I mean, how has it helped?
Yeah, so great question. So I use it for a number of reasons. If you want notifications and you're using the MLS, it's good to use, right? So if you have those buyers that they want to be in a house yesterday, and as soon as one hits the market, they want to be the first one in there. Because if someone puts a home on the market, you guys tell me, how quickly is it going into escrow?
A week,
A week? Any sooner?
2 days.
Some of them go really quick, right?
Yeah, some of them get multiple offers the first day.
Mm-hmm. And there are agents out there, guys, when you call the listing agent, because every good buyer's agent calls the listing agent on the listing, right?
Yeah.
When you call the listing agent and you talk with them and you ask them, what does the seller want and what can I do? What can we do in our offer to open escrow today, right? If you ask them that, some agents will actually tell you and you'll open escrow that day. You just got to ask. It's just like listing appointments. If you just ask for a listing appointment, they'll probably give you an appointment. A lot of us just forget to ask. Same with closing. So that's a really good tool. This one is that's the main reason I started doing this is as soon as that property hits the market, the client gets a notification, they check their email, we're going to look at the property, that day. And it's really only for those really good buyers who want to be in properties like ASAP. Now, for teams, if anyone here has a team, how many teams we got on here? For accountability, I mean, I use this for accountability. I've got team agreements from people in the past. So I've got data out there where I know referrals can be really clunky. So there's maybe like 6 agents in our MLS. If they do a deal, I get a notification and I cross-reference if it came from me. I send them a friendly reminder if it's one of my leads to send me a referral check. So I do that from a team standpoint, just because I've worked with a lot of agents in the past and they've worked my leads. So it's a good accountability system for me from a team standpoint too. Any other questions? I mean, that's literally it.
Corey, is there any way you could show the whole thing again? Just go run through it one more time.
Yeah, sure can.
I forgot how to get the number and all that. I'm taking notes and I missed that part.
Yeah, and I go really quick too. That's just, yeah. Okay, so the first thing you do, let me share my screen. Let's see here. Okay, are we sharing?
Yeah, we get it.
Okay. So the first thing you do is you go to this website right here, the free SMS gateway. And there's a bunch of other websites that do the same thing. And if you guys want to do like notifications on a Google Calendar, like where it sends to someone's text message as well on a Google Calendar event, this works as well. Basically, this is just a way to email someone's phone through text message.
Cool.
So you just get this, then you go to Paragon, and when you set someone up, sorry, you just, let me copy and paste. When you set someone up with listings, you just add it right there. And then make sure to add their other email too, though, right? Because this link, the link isn't clickable because it's a hyperlink. Most phones aren't going to read that. They're just going to show the text and not the actual link. So just, if your clients want this, you got to make sure you preface and let them know that this is just a notification system, so that when they get this text message, it comes from a 410 number too, by the way. It's like 410 and then dash something something. It just serves as a notification to let them know a new listing just hit the market that matches their criteria. So if someone's not, oh, go ahead.
So say I'm on free SMS gateway.info.
Yeah.
How do I get from there to getting that number?
You type in the phone number.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then you do the not a bot.
Yeah.
Not a bot. And then, yeah, then you get this.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. That's easy. Thank you. I
Yep,
didn't get the
yeah.
first one. Cool.
And then, yeah, you just plug it in and just make sure you do their other email too. I wouldn't recommend doing this for clients unless they want it right away. Because if your clients are not picky and you have a search set up like countywide and they're getting 5 properties a day, they're literally going to get 5 text messages. It's gonna like ding ding ding, and and the text messages are there. It's got a bunch of clunkiness to it. You'll see it if you do it to yourself. You saw the one I did. It's got just everything in the email is in the text message, but it doesn't look pretty. So it's really just a notification system. So any questions on that? How many of you guys will actually use this, you think? It's okay if you don't. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully it's helpful. And Bob, that's all I had today. If you guys have questions on smart plans, I've also got, Bob knows I've got tons of smart plans. I can show you. I've got 41 smart plans basically set up. These are the money ones right here, seller nurtures. I got them for recruiting, for sellers, for buyers. So you guys have any questions?
I have a question they need to know about is you implemented the smart plans with your database, but talk about how that database was accumulated.
Okay, yeah. So, and by the way, full clarity, I've really been recently getting all my smart plans together. I've done a lot of recruiting the last 4 or 5 years with KW, and most of my campaigns or smart plans have all been like towards recruiting. And now I'm taking those same concepts and putting them into my regular sales database, which I haven't done a lot of sales in the last year because I've been more focused on coaching. And now, since COVID hit, I've been focusing more on sales, and I've got about 2,000 leads from the last 7 years in my database. People who have raised their hand, they want to sell in the future, or they want to keep in touch about real estate. And a lot of them own multiple properties. So to answer Bob's question is, I got that database by basically calling. When I got into real estate, I learned from, week 1, I've got to hit my daily contacts, to get listings, and it's leads, listings, leverage. So my first day in real estate, I made 72 contacts, and on my 72nd call, I set a listing appointment. And then 2 days later, I went on that listing appointment and took a listing, only because on day 2, I didn't make any calls because I spent the whole day memorizing my listing presentation. So when I presented on day 3, you wouldn't have known a difference between a rookie or someone who's seasoned unless she asked me questions. Thankfully, she asked me no questions and she just signed right up. I got really lucky, but if you do something over and over and over enough, you're going to get lucky, right? So that pretty much set the course for my real estate career on, just hitting the daily contacts. I went from 30 a day to 40 a day to 50 a day. And then I started going on appointments every other day, listing appointments. And then I started naturally just kind of growing a team. And then over the years, I've hired ISAs. So I've had full-time callers just calling all day, for listings. So I've accumulated a bunch of leads over time, really just from making calls. And, your first few years, if you're making a lot of calls, you'll build that database. If you don't do anything with it and you don't set up smart plans, you'll do what I did and you only sell like 20 homes a year your first few years until you get that database set up. Then you're forced to, do something because you've got a bunch of leads and you don't have enough people to work the leads. So, but you got to start somewhere. And, for me, it was making calls. You can build a database by marketing, by business to business. It's really just making 30 new connections a day will help you build that database.
Because if you're not keeping in touch with them, somebody else is. And it's really just, doing that on a consistent basis. And like you said, it was the come list me, where you were just consistently communicating with them and they're like, oh, well, let's just call Corey.
Well, over COVID, there were, 3 different listings. I got 3 different come list me's when COVID hit. That I was working with a buddy of mine. He was a broker that was on my team that was working leads with me. And they did come list me's over COVID, when COVID hit. And it was, I don't know, it was maybe like 2.5 million in sales. And then I think the last 5 listings that I've sold have all been from database. So even we just listed a La Jolla one. He comes on the market next week. Oh yeah, it's a coming soon La Jolla townhome if anyone wants one. If anyone has a client. It's Via Alicante neighborhood in Gilman. He was someone in my database, that we called, and Chris Ross, he was calling on my database and he procured that guy from my database. Someone that we called a few years ago. So yeah, I mean, database is huge. If you guys don't build it and you don't set up your smart plans, it's, that grind will continue to be challenging, but it gets easier and easier if you build that database and then you communicate systematically to that database.
Systems and models, the 4 laws of lead generation: build a database. It's in the red book, feed it every day, communicate with it, and then provide service to everybody.
And now I'm excited because I've got 2,000 leads. 1,000 of them, I've got their emails, and they'll remember, talking to us. Where they're all going to start getting text messages and emails, very soon. I've been syncing everything with Mojo and PySync and KW Command. So it's a little clunky. I'd say about 50 to 60% is transferring. So I've got to manually import the rest. So I'm working on that, but it's very soon. I'll have them all in Command and systematically texting, emailing them every month.
And I think your message should resonate if you're a brand new agent and you're making a lot of those cold call prospecting calls, and you might get frustrated because you might not be getting anywhere. Remember, Corey said he did 72 calls that one day before he got the listing appointment on the 73rd or whatever it was. But he kept storing the database. So if you're making those calls, put them in Command and, label them with a tag and just eventually set them up on a seller nurture, because it's not a matter of if or when. It's their timeline. It's not your timeline. Remember that. And they might know somebody else down the road. And if you're an agent that's consistently communicating with them somehow, they're going to always remember you or refer you. It's like the neighborhood agent. Everybody always sees the sign of the agent in the neighborhood all the time. Oh, that person owns the neighborhood. Well, let's just call her because he or she knows the market. Now it's digital. So you got the digital, and all eyes are on digital right now.
Well, Bob, I think the big one is, I don't know, I just know the generality here. It's like 15% of all buyers and sellers say, oh wait, no, it's like 80% of all buyers and sellers say they would use their previous agent, right?
Yeah.
But only like 15, 20% actually do, because agents do a horrible job keeping in touch.
Really top listing agents do adopt the buyer program, where they adopt the buyer of the listing they sold, because they know that that agent that helped them buy that house is probably not going to communicate with them very consistently. And they run very profitable businesses because they pick up a buyer every time they sell one of their listings and add that to the database.
Yes, and if you guys set command up with smart plans, it's, I mean, you guys are, if you forget to call them, do your, you know, your monthly or quarterly call, whatever that plan is, you know, if you have the text and emails already going out, you know, it's a really sweet system we have, and it's just getting better and better. You know, it's like every month KW is making command better. So
Getting there.
mhm.
Well, anybody have any questions for Corey then? I mean, especially he's the pro on the smart plans, or at least getting there. If you're having a little, you know, you want to know what he's got in them, or.
Yeah, Corey, so I really appreciate you sharing your time with us today. It's very helpful. I'm very interested in like learning more about smart plans and utilizing them with my database. So right now I've got about 500 people in a database. But I want to learn how to set up smart plans with them. Like, how do you do it? You seem to have a bunch of different styles.
So smart plans, you know, you can make general ones. We've got some templates. You know, I don't use any of the KW template ones. I just, because my database is very specific. It's very unique. A lot of them are absentee owners or, you know, rental owners. So a lot of my smart plans cater towards more of an investment type language, or my sphere, people I know, you know, where I'll say things like Tony the Tiger, great. They know my personality. So it's really just going in, and we've got, if you go to KW Connect, I mean, there's videos on how to make these things, right? I mean, we have trainings at our office on how to set up smart plans. You guys just got to show up. Like Chris and Surreal on the coaching highlights today, they showed up, and that's really just it. Like if you show up, 90% of our business is just showing up and doing our job.
So all I need to do is go to our KW Connect websites and look up how to set up smart plans.
There should be videos there, and I believe Clarissa has created some videos that are on our, if you go to our Facebook page, I'm pretty sure there's going to be some, if you do the search in our Facebook page, there'll be some videos on smart plans as well.
You know, I'm confused because I met with Clarissa and she walked me through it, but the way the smart plan was outlined was like, it just was like I would type things in. I couldn't put my signature, like email page on it. I couldn't put a KW logo on it. Like it just didn't look professional. I didn't
So
want to send that out to my clients.
yeah, so that's a great point. So with the signature, you got to copy and paste your signature, right? It's all text. There's no pictures. It's all text, right? It's simple.
Right.
And I'll tell you this, when you're
So
doing
we tried to do that and we couldn't figure out how to do it, me and Clarissa together.
to do what?
Cut and copy and paste my signature from my email page to the
Is
smart.
Is your signature a picture or is it text?
It's a picture.
Yeah, you can't add pictures. You got to do text. So yeah, you got to copy and paste text. So I'd say put it on a Word document and copy and paste that over. You can change when you go in the smart plans. You can change the color of the text. So I have like Keller Williams is in red on mine, and everything else is black or bold. Really simple. And the text messages, my suggestion is keep them short, keep them simple. With the emails, a lot of times I'll do an email the day after, and my email will say, "Hey, I sent you a message yesterday," and then I'll recap the text message, and I'll go more in depth on what that was about. So I hit them twice in 2 days, and then I'll wait like 30 days, and then the next two will go out.
So I was wondering, as far as the announcements, the things Homekeeper sends us, there's no way to copy and paste those things and put them on the smart plan?
Only text.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, only text. And I'll tell you this, if someone sends me an email and there's HTML pictures and I don't know who they are, or like either they're gonna get spammed by me or I'm not gonna read it, because I actually block all pictures on my emails anyways, until I approve them. That's a good way you can get viruses as well if you leave that open. So, if you keep emails simple, text messages simple, you actually have a high conversion rate on that stuff.
That's cool. So Corey, is there a way to put, so what you're saying makes me feel like to make it more personable to them, just text. Can I put their name on top of it, like dear such and such person?
Yeah.
I have to go out to a different name?
This is where you gotta learn smart plans. There's a feature where you can customize it, where contact's name. You can even customize it for teams. If you have a team and someone on your team, you set them up with a smart plan that says agent's name. So if I got like Chris Ross, it'll say like, hey Bob, Chris here at Keller Williams. If I send it, it'll say Corey at Keller Williams. You can set it up based on the name tags.
Yeah, but my question is, I don't have a team. But my question is, can I set it up to say dear Tom?
Yeah.
Like his name, like Tom Joe, Tom Smith is a contact in my contacts. So I'm sending out smart plans with text only, and I want this one to say dear Tom, that one to say dear Phil.
Yeah, I think that's like a hyperlink or like a code that you put, and it automatically inserts everybody's individual name.
I tried to do that, right? So that's what I asked Clarissa, and we couldn't figure out how to do it. So can you show me how to do that?
I'll do it real quick. We've got
In fairness of time, that's a tech question. I'd like to wrap things up because we're getting close to the end to keep everybody on time.
Okay, so can I text you, Corey, to ask about that?
Just right here. Boom. See it? Contact first name. It's just that. It's simple. You just gotta learn smart plans, and you can customize all those things: birthday, last name, first name, agent's name, and you just put it in. That's all. I mean, I think you just need to spend time with smart plans.
Yeah, it's just getting in and learning the tech that we have with KW, and it's trial and error. Trust me, I've made a lot of trial and a lot of error.
Yeah,
So,
no one taught me this stuff. I just went in and figured it out on my own. I haven't taken any courses or trainings. You just got to go in, play around with it. I mean, that's usually the best way to learn on this stuff.
all right, guys, it's 2:29. We only got 1 minute, but let's go ahead, and if you don't have any other questions, a quick question or a quick comment. Quick comment, Bailey.
I got a quick comment. I just found this out yesterday. If you're on the MLS, there's a new option that says use PED and glide during COVID-19. And it's right underneath the pictures of the listing on the MLS. And then it automatically sends a PED so you don't have to open zip forms. So I found that very helpful.
Great information. Yes, I just posted, they had a learning session, a virtual learning yesterday on incorporating your PEDs with Glide. Make it so much easier for you guys. So learn that technology.
It's self-explanatory, very easy to set up.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're at the end.
Bye,
of our
everyone.
Hey, thank Corey for teaching today and everybody else that showed up. You all make it a great day.
Thanks a lot, Corey. Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Try to discover something to make me sweeter. Oh, baby, from breaking my heart. Keep me on that, keep me on that, keep me on that, keep me on that.